Well, hey there, my friends. Welcome to my channel, Ink and Whimsy. I'm Laura Daniels, and we're going to have some fun today doing a scrapbook share of the different projects that I've completed for the month of May. And I'll be sharing some of the tips and the supplies I've used, as well as a bonus video at the end where I'm going to show you what to do if you need to frame your 12 by 12 scrapbook layout and you don't have any more paper left except for a teeny weeny little bit. So I'm going to show you what to do, how to make mitered corners. I think you're going to love the tip. All right, so let's start off with this page right here. And when I was doing the scrapbook pages for Not Just for Boys Kit Club, and it's called Gumballs and Swizzle Sticks. I just love the title of that. Merity does such a great job just choosing the titles, let alone all the beautiful pages that come with the kit. So this is called Gumballs and Swizzle Sticks. I just did 12 by 12 single page layouts. And here, this is all about my niece Izzy. And we had gone down my brother's house for a cookout, and she was working on her toy Jeep. Nothing else mattered in the world. It was Izzy and her Jeep. So I love how this came together. One of my favorite things to do is to rip the paper and kind of curl it over so you bring the other side out, but you can also show the white underneath. And if it's a busy pattern, it really helps in breaking it up a little bit. And also you can see here, I have somebody has to fix it, and I just stamped these stamps with a stamp set from Not Just for Boys Kit Club. And I'm going to get that right now and show it to you. Alrighty, so you know when you have a 12 by 12 piece of cardstock that you get in a kit, you have that one thin piece that's in the end. That's called a zip strip or the branding strip. And when you cut those off, it tells you, you know, that it was 49 market and it's travel memories. All right, so this is one of them. Here is another one, like this one right here. Okay, this is a zip strip. These alpha stamps are made so that you can stamp directly on here and then cut out the letters and you can do your own title. One of the benefits of this is, and I'm going to tell you real quick, I'm not sure how wide these are. What are they, a half inch? Yeah, they're a half inch wide. So you could cut a half inch wide solid, stamp these on them, and then cut them into blocks and make your own title. So it is pretty cool. And I love how I was able to use two different mediums to create the title for this page. I'm going to move those over. And I love the little clusters that I did and the cars going along the bottom. Okay, here's the next one. This is all about Lego fun with my granddaughter, and I broke her Lego house. And this is the whole story on how we're still best friends, even though she had to help me put it all back together. It is such a funny story. And here I made a shaker with it. This is my first time making one of those for a scrapbook layout, and I do love how it came out. And then here I cut out, this is the same piece of cardstock, and then of another section of it, I cut out these circles, and then I roughed up the edges with a pair of scissors, and then with some dimensions, put them on top to create even more dimension for the actual layout. And as I said, this is the Gumballs and Swizzle Sticks May kits. And here's the story. I just have one photo, right? A lot of the stories that I wanted to tell this month, they were just I could only do it on one 12 by 12. But these are our children and their cousins when they were riding all their tricycles together down at Mima. So that was a fun story I wanted to tell. Actually, there wasn't much of a story, you know that? Because I wasn't journaling back then. I was so frustrated. But this photo always makes me smile. So it's more about journaling that I wish I had journaled more. But I love the off to the races. And here I cut out the little cars so that individually there were the four of them running the races. I love how that came together. Now this right here is a Stampin' Up! Suite and stamp set. It is called Ocean Friends. I'm not sure if it's still available, but it also, you could at that time get the dies that would cut out the seaweed and all this other fun stuff. And then I combined it with some of these old stamp sets, Seaside Wishes and Sea Turtles. So you can see the sea turtle here. But this was an 8.5 by 11 storybook page. And I just wanted to, I love this photo of my daughter, and this was her bachelorette party. But my favorite is how this whole scene came together down here. It was fun putting it together. I enjoyed that. All right, so I do have a couple of double page spreads, and I want to show those to you now. This is using Ocean Friends from Stampin' Up, and it is the Ocean Friends DSP suite also. And I did some smushing in the background. I cut out these letters, and then I found this in my stash, this almost a foam alpha set. So shop your stash, right? Whenever you get a kit, look at what you have in the kit, what you love in the kit, and go, okay, what do I have in that closet that has a gazillion other piece of craft items? Go in there and fish through it. So here, I love how I continued the ocean bottom theme all on the bottom of both pages here. And then I was trying to bring out the colors of the water, because these are very unique colors for the ocean. So I wanted to bring it forward. And this is, you know, when you have a die and you cut out that image from the piece of cardstock, this is what was left. So I thought, well, that's pretty. I wonder how I can use that in the layout. So these are these pages. This is when I was home visiting family in Maine, and we always walk Wells Beach. This one right here is one of my favorites. And what's unique about this is Stampin' Up, and it is Winter Meadow, I believe. And it's for the winter, right? This was so not winter. This was the summer of 2023, but look how the color just reminded me of the lake here. And, you know, this may have some blueberries on it, but when you're looking at it closely, you're really not seeing that. You're drawn to the photos in this and just how the colors bring it all together. And I did a flip flap here, right up here at top. And now see, these colors really didn't go with the overall color scheme that I wanted in the 12 by 12 layout. That's why I put them on the inside of the flip flaps. And then the stamps that I used was this evergreen one right here with the trees, and I kind of varied between the dies and the stamps and just bringing out the colors in the kit. And this young lady right here was from an old Close to My Heart stamp set, and then she is from a Stampin' Up one called In the Moment. Now the fun thing about when you're going to stamp something is that if you have the markers, if you have colored pencils that match the colors of the cardstock, you can create your own ephemera, which is always really neat. All right, so let me go back through these real quick, and then I am going to show you how to create mitered corners on a scrapbook page if you have run out of paper and you just have maybe 6 inches left, right? And you're going, oh my gosh, I still need a border. I'm going to show you how to do that. So let me pick these up and hang in there. Don't go anywhere, and I'm going to show you. All right, my friends, this is so easy. You're going to love this tip. All right, so let's say you already have your entire scrapbook page done, but you want to add a border around it. Or you know you're going to be working on vanilla cardstock or white cardstock, and you know you want the border, but you only have about 6 inches of the color that you want to use that came in the kit. This is a real easy way, instead of I need the full 12 by 12 and gut out the middle. You know how they do that. All right. So these are how the corners look. See how they're mitered? See how they're mitered here? I have not glued that down yet. I want to show you how to do this. Now, each of these is, I had a ruler here at one point. This is how wide. Now, you can make it any width you want. You can see it's just over a 1/4 of an inch. You could do a 1/2 inch you want, right? So you cut 4 of them, and then you glue it down, real simple. And I would do all 4 of them. The key here, and this is what I learned the hard way, you don't want to run the glue all the way to the end because you got to cut it, right? So, and whenever you are using this and you want to go straight with it, have your piece of paper, cardstock, down on the desk or the table, and then move slowly. Now see, I'm still not even going up to the edge of this, am I? All right, here we go. You're going to run it this way. And see, I'm using my finger, the table, to keep my hand steady. Now what I am going to do, since I'm doing this um, on video, I couldn't control it as good. I just took some off of my finger. All right, so now you're going to take the border that you've cut, you're going to lay it right over the top of this, because see, this isn't glued either, and neither is this end. All right, so now you're going to go like this, lay it down, just make sure it's even. And since you use that glue, this right here, you have a little bit of wiggle room. You're just going to go like this. Make sure you don't have a glop of glue there or there, because when you spread it out, guess what's going to happen? You're going to glue it down, and you do not want to glue it down. All right, so that's that. And now you're just going to pick it up. You're going to go right to the corner here, slip it under both pieces. You see how my scissors are at this corner? You're going to go straight through. Now look how it's corner to corner, right? The outside and the inside, and then just cut. I can't guarantee how this is going to look since I'm not standing over it. But okay, I think it came out okay. All right, now see that? And then you're just going to glue it down, and you have a perfect mitered corner. There you go, friends. I hope you enjoyed that tip. Until we meet again, God bless. Have an incredible day, and be sure to leave any questions you have in the comments below about what you saw. If you have any questions about how to miter the corners, or if you just want to say, hey, I love hearing from you. All right, until we meet again, God bless. Bye-bye.